Since Darktable 5.6, I've not been using my SAM2 or SAM3 plugin. I'm using what's built inside Darktable. For me, it has been working well, especially with the SAM 2.1 large model. But I cannot say the same about raw denoise. In the background, it uses the run-in model, and sometimes it gives soft results. Of course, I could bring back some details using the diffuse or sharpen module, but I'm young and lazy, so I don't want to do the extra work. Instead, I'm still using RawForge because I want the denoise model to keep as much details as possible. So if you also think raw denoise is a little bit soft, stick around because in this video I will show you how you can install and use RawForge with Darktable 5.6. There were a few changes since the last installation video, so the procedure is not exactly the same. Before we start, there are a few things I want to mention. First, I believe RawForge is better, but not by much. Maybe 5 or 10%, so don't expect a huge difference. Second, the latest RawForge update broke the deep sharpen and deblur models. They are no longer working, but the denoise model are still working fine. Once the deblur and deep sharpen model are fixed, I will make another video. And then the third thing I want to mention is that I'm not saying run-in is bad. I think run-in is good, and that's why I made a series of videos explaining how you can train it yourself. RawForge also uses the run-in dataset, so without run-in, there wouldn't be any RawForge. So I have a huge respect for all the work done for the run-in project. But I'm lazy, so that's why we will install RawForge. So if that sounds good for you, let's go. We will do this on Linux because that's the best operating system, but the same procedure applies if you haven't switched yet and are still running Windows or macOS. RawForge is a Python application, and I like installing Python application using a software called UV. First, you need to go on their website, and the link will be in the video description. Then you go to installation. There you will find installation commands for Windows, Linux, and macOS. On Windows, you just have to open PowerShell and run this command. On Linux and macOS, you can install it using curl or wget. Again, you just have to copy the command and run it in your terminal. And that's what I will do right now. So I will copy this, then I will paste it in my terminal and run it. That's it, UV is installed. Once UV is installed, we can install RawForge. So you just have to type UV tool install RawForge. In my case, I'm inside a virtual machine, so I don't have any GPU. So what I will do is I will put curl bracket and CPU, and that's it. So if you want to run RawForge on your CPU, that's the command you need to use. That's also the command if you have a Mac M1, M2, and all that stuff. If you want to run RawForge using CUDA, you need to put CUDA in the curl bracket. If you have an AMD or an NVIDIA GPU on Windows, you need to put DirectML. That's it. So in my case, I will run it on CPU. I press enter and it will install RawForge. Once RawForge is installed, you can type RawForge-H and run it, and then you will see the help page. So when you see this, it means everything has been installed successfully. So if it doesn't work, then you will see errors and stuff like that. Next, we need to install Git. So you can go on the Git website. Again, the link will be in the video description. On Windows, you can download the installer and run it, like always, or you can use winget if you prefer. On macOS, you can install it using Homebrew, and on Linux, you can install it using your package manager. So right now, I'm on Linux Mint, so I will run sudo apt install git. Now that Git is installed, you can open Darktable. On the bottom left, you will see script. You click there, then under folder, you need to select tool. Then you need to enable the executable manager. This is the script we will use to tell Darktable where RawForge is installed. Next, you need to go to the video description and copy the link to my Darktable script repository. So the URL will look like this. You need to copy it. Then you go back to Darktable. Under Action, you select Install Update Scripts. There, you will paste the URL of my GitHub script repository. You can name it anything you want, but for this example, I will name it Subscribe. Once done, you click on Install, and that's it. Now you need to enable the script named RawForge. So as you can see right now, there is another script named RawForge ZT, so that was a test, but it's not working great, so by the time you see the video, it won't be there anymore. So once RawForge is enabled, you need to restart Darktable. Now you need to go to the executable manager. So this is the module just above script. So when you open there, under executable, you click there and you will see RawForge. So now we need to tell Darktable where the RawForge binary is installed. You can click on the small folder right there. On Linux and macOS, it will be in your .local bin, and there you will see RawForge server. So you need to select RawForge and click open. Again, that's for Linux and macOS. On Windows, it will be in your user profile, /.local/bin. So I will put the path somewhere on the screen so you can easily see it. Now I click open. Now if we go to the right panel, we will see the RawForge plugin there. First, you can select the model you want to use. Remember, the deblur and deep sharpen models are no longer working. Once that has been fixed, I will upload a new video. So for this example, I will just use a 3-net denoise, the standard model. If you want, you can add some noise back to your image. So by moving this slider, you can add some luminance noise, and you can add back some chroma noise as well. Then you can use this checkbox if you want to preserve highlight. That's because you can see weird stuff when the denoiser works on clip highlights. Once you're fine with the setting, you can select one or more images, and then you click on denoise. And voila, RawForge is installed and working on this system. So if this video was helpful, just give me a like and see you next time.